500 season. Thrilled to be with you here for another kickoff to another NFL season right here on NFL Network. My name is Rich Eisen, alongside my buddy Steve Mariucci and Michael Irvin. Good to see you guys.
Good to be here, man.
The cast of thousands that also includes
Can we
our
get Nate
buddy
some love? That's
Kurt
a good
Warner.
rap.
Of course, let's give Nate some love.
That was awesome.
That's great,
Really
man.
good. And you know what,
Great for real.
Rich? He and I did a rap video at the Super
Yes.
Bowl.
We
I don't know.
were
We're waiting for you to do a rap video one of these days.
You know, Steve, it's really about the NFL season right now. Not my rap career, which
right,
is
we'll do
probably
that
not going to
later.
take
All right,
off.
go on.
Hey, Antonio Brown isn't with the Raiders right now. He did not practice today. There's his helmet, or multiple helmets, it looks like. And it has nothing to do with the helmet right here. We don't know what's going on, except the fact that Antonio Brown had an altercation with general manager Mike Mayock yesterday, which led to these statements from the GM and coach today.
Antonio Brown's not in the building today. He won't be practicing. I don't have any more information for you right now. And when I have some and it becomes appropriate, you guys will all get it. I promise you. But that's it for today.
I'm emotional about it. I hope you understand why. I think a lot of this guy. I think Antonio is a great receiver. And I think deep down, I think he's a really good guy. So I'm frustrated. I'm not going to say any more about it. Hope it all works out. But I don't have anything official to say about anything else until I get all the facts. And that's what I'm going to do.
Well, I guess that's the latest episodes of Bad Cop and True Detective right there. We send things now to the Raiders practice facility where MJ Acosta is standing by. MJ?
Well, Rich, it's interesting that you hear that juxtaposition between Mayock and Gruden and how they're attacking this situation here. Now, in terms of Gruden, I did ask him how he would describe the focus of the team, and his answer was really insightful. He said, listen, this isn't anything new for our guys. We've had Hard Knocks cameras all summer long. Of course, the Antonio Brown drama has not ceased since the beginning of the training camp period here. So the guys, as far as they're concerned, it is business as usual, for better or for worse. What they're focused on is Monday Night Football, Week 1 against the Broncos. Now, when we went into the open locker room portion after practice, it was that same sentiment from the guys that we did speak to. And when we asked specifically about that incident between Mayock and Brown, all of them said, hey, I don't know anything about that. But they did say that they do like Antonio Brown, the caliber of play that he brings to this team and how he elevates that offense. Of course, he can't bring any of that if he's not in the building or on the field with the Raiders.
All right, MJ, and this whole latest kerfuffle, one would say, started on Wednesday with Antonio Brown taking to his Instagram story and posting a private communication from Mike Mayock to Antonio Brown, informing him of a fine just south of $14,000 for missing a walkthrough at the Canada game, on top of the $40,000 that he was fined for missing the training camp day. That led to Mayock making an all-in or all-out statement to the media, and Ian Rappaport joining us right now. So I guess let's start with what happens next. Do the Raiders have enough to cut Brown and not pay him a red cent? Ian.
What likely would happen, Rich, if they were to decide to move on from Antonio Brown, which at the very least you have to think they are considering among their options, they're going to discipline him. They're going to do something, but not clear yet what they are going to do. What would happen first would be some sort of suspension or disciplinary measure just to make sure that they can come after Antonio Brown's $30 million guaranteed, if that is in fact what they decide to do. His contract has pretty standard language. There's a failure to practice clause. In other words, if he's not there at practice or if he leaves the team without permission, which it sounds like he already did because of his foot issue earlier in training camp. If they wanted to go that route, they could suspend him, go after his money, and then release him. Either way, it is hard to imagine moving forward without some sort of significant discipline for their star receiver.
Well, one last question for you, Ian. Do we know, is Gruden and Mayock like huddling up here and having a conversation about whether or not it was the right decision for Brown to come here at all and thus leave him? Or is this an issue that Mayock is on one side and Gruden is on another? What can you tell me on this front?
At the very least, from what I understand, the conversations have been animated not just about Antonio Brown, but about a lot of the different conversations, a lot of the different things that have gone on in the Raiders building over the course of the last couple months. It's been really been a crazy offseason. Either way, no one would want a situation where you have your star receiver punting the ball and saying, "Find me for that," as Antonio Brown did to Mayock yesterday. That is not good.
All right, Ian, thanks very much. That's Ian Rappaport with the latest right here on NFL Game Day Kickoff. Irv, I hand you the floor here on what is up with Antonio Brown, do you think?
I don't know what's up. And Rich, when I heard it, the first thing I thought was, wow, we go from the helmet situation, which is comical, to this situation, which really is concerning. This is concerning. Like, to have these kinds of things happen after all of what has transpired previously before coming over to the Raiders, for him to go into this route where they're actually having, and from what I understand, close to a physical altercation with the GM, it certainly is unacceptable, and it's concerning to how do you not understand that this is a problem?
Well, it's an interesting way for you to put it, because his behavior of late, based on what we from outside looking in, makes it seem like he's lost a grasp on what the basics of professional football is, in the way that a player, despite his remarkable caliber of talent, a standard that a professional football player must have, it seems.
Yeah, and to understand everything that I've seen the Raiders, they've tried to help him in every situation here. In every situation, with the feet issue,
the helmet.
Then, the helmet issue. They tried to help. They tried to help. And John Gruden, they're trying to keep this in a place where we can get some work done one day, sooner or later. At least that's what it sounds like to me. But he continues to bring about these kinds of situations. And I'm just concerned. I'm concerned. How can you not see that this is not right here, right now, that you should not be doing this?
Bizarre behavior. That's what this is. Because what's happening with AB is you don't see this. You don't see this. The cryotherapy thing with the feet, a lot of athletes use that, but I don't see anybody blister up quite like he did. That was scary.
Right.
That was really
very dangerous.
Very unfortunate.
Very dangerous.
All right, but the helmet thing, Mike. High school, colleges, and the NFL, you have rules. You have to have helmets approved, and that's it. And the 32 guys in the NFL this year had helmets that said, "Oh, you can't wear that anymore. I know you've been wearing it for 7 years, but you can't wear." And everybody said fine, except AB.
All of that had already been played out. And then Wednesday, he put private business out on his Instagram.
Yeah, and then the other thing is, there's a fine schedule in the National Football League. And it's not just for AB or the Raiders. The entire league has the same fine schedule, whether you miss practice or a game or a practice or fat pounds or whatever that is, right, Mike? So they were adhering to the rules that are already set in place. But then he posts on social media, it's like, what are you doing that for? That's crazy stuff. You're picking a big fight, and then, of course, it escalated on the field. It's really unfortunate. I think John Gruden's doing the right thing.
Yeah, Coach.
Because he's saying he loves them, he's a great player, and all of that. Because if and when he comes back, they've got to work together.
He's leaving room for them to work together.
He threatened to hit the general manager in the face, though, guys, in front of other players. And Vontaze Burfict is the one who reportedly had to hold him back. How does Humpty Dumpty come back together after that? I mean, in all seriousness, I know he's supremely talented.
We know, and no doubt, and everybody here is going to say the same thing. That is just ridiculous that you even try to do that. You're even in that situation. That you're in that situation. But they are trying to get some value out of the investment here. And if they suspend him a game, what John Gruden is doing, I think is smart. He's probably say, I'm not in it right now. That decision has to be made. I hope they get it straightened out and we can get them back on the football field, because it leaves room for them to work together. It leaves room for them to work together, if that's the situation.
Well.